Hello, Dakota. I can't figure out how to flip the camera halfway through the video, so I'm just going to keep it set up for my hand so I can show you some of these chords on How Insensitive. Welcome to my green music room. This is where I see people online. Oh, there's my flute lamp. That's a lamp. A flute got made into a lamp because it was no longer a very good flute. So, this is my piano, and I have our music all set up. I'm going to show you your left-hand chords, okay? You can do these chords, and these are all of your chords. They don't tell us all the notes, but these letters and symbols and numbers give us a lot of information. We'll get to this guy. It's got a slash. All right. You can do this on your other hand, your right hand. I'm going to just show you my left hand, partly because that would be the best job as a keyboard piano player, depending on which group you're in, because those chords are the background to the written melody, which eventually your right hand could play, or a solo instrument could play, or maybe someone would be singing it. Oop. So if you want to try it with your right hand too, your thumb will be the anchor. It'll be on these letters. Since I'm showing you left hand, your pinky is the anchor, okay? It is the decider of the position for these chords. The rest of the fingers will follow. All right. We're going to go through these blue chords first. They don't have any fancy symbols. We're going to go for our major chords. We talked a little bit about that sound difference of major and minor. So we're going to start there so that we can start to memorize our chord families, because when we have just one letter, that tells us 3 notes. Okay? And when we have 3-note chords, like in your etude in C, we call those chords triads. So for all the fancy chords, there are triads in these guys. We just have to maybe move something so that it has the right sound. Okay? So we're going to start with A. Left hand pinky is coming to an A. And since we don't have any symbols or numbers, nothing on that A, we're just going to go for A and C sharp and E. This is your major A chord, okay? The A chord family always has an A, some sort of a C, and an E. Since it's major, we use the C sharp, all right? Your next chord is written as G sharp. Its other name is A flat, but I will call it G sharp. So here's your G sharp. Oh my goodness, it's so close. And your G sharp major chord always has a G, a B. I know you're looking at me going, this is C. I know that's C. And it has a D. Since this is G sharp, we have to have one of each of those letters because it's in the G chord family. There's our major G sharp chord. Let me give you the other names though. If we were to call this A flat, we'd have an A, a C, and an E, just like in the A major chord without a flat, without a sharp. That can be a little nicer because then we would call this A flat, C. We much prefer C over B sharp, and E flat. But your chord sheet has written G sharp. So G sharp, B sharp, other name for C, D sharp. All right? Either way you want to think of it. We're going to move something anyway because you have a minor G sharp chord. Oh, you have a diminished. Ooh, fancy. Okay. And then you have G is your next. Right there. I'm all the way over here now. Not quite there, but just picking out these letters. We're going to move these chords in your G chord family. G, B, D. Same set of letters as that G sharp. And let's go to D. This will be D major. We're just setting up our triads. D, F sharp, and A. Again, you'd always have D, F, and A. Major, we got to adjust that F to B sharp. That's how we get that nice happy sound. Okay. So those are our chord triad families, all right? But let's go through the chords that you actually have. We have to adjust a couple things in those families of 3 letters each. you need, and I'm gonna sit on here for a second. These are slightly adjusted from what you have written on your paper. But we'll go with these 4 first before adding on the 9 to your A minor and the 7 to your G sharp diminished. But we'll go ahead and do D7 because that one's going to be a happy one, okay? So this chord's going to have 4 notes. Ha! Anything with a number is going to have more than just the 3 notes of your triad, okay? We'll keep it a little simplified for now. So this week as you work with your grandpops and on your own, you can follow what you're being shown in our little video here, okay? For these, which are just ever so slightly, they might be missing a little something from what's actually here. These 4 chords are what we're going for, just getting the bass for them. So, M-I, sometimes you'll just see a little M. That is indicating minor. When we have minor, I'm gonna go back to this A major. That was what we just started with. We're gonna mess with the 3rd note. We're going to lower it to the left. There is A minor. Nice and happy, all white keys. This is what you have. First chord off the bat. There's a 9 on it. We'll just skip that guy for now. All right, your G sharp with a little, it looks kind of like a temperature thing. Like, you know, it's been cold lately. It's been like 33 degrees at night. But this circle symbol stands for diminished. And diminished in music means we're going to lower things, which means they're going to get closer and sound maybe not so pretty. So here's that G sharp, and it is minor. Here's that major that I showed you earlier. We're going to take that 3rd note and scoot it down. G sharp minor. And I'm also going to move the top note, note number 5. Okay? So that's your G sharp diminished. Or, if it was written with its other name, A flat diminished. Okay? So I know I'm talking about the 3rd and the 5th note. That has to do with counting whatever the letter note is as note number 1. Okay, these triads, they always have a 1st note, a 3rd note, and a 5th note. We don't use the 2nd or the 4th note. So it's kind of nifty to just skip those fingers, set them all up, give them a letter, and just do your little chord position. 5, 3, 1, 5, 5, 3, 1. Oh, diminished is very strange. It usually goes somewhere where it feels a little more finished. Your next chord is just a nice little G minor, no more sharp. So you're still going down. We're going backwards. A, backwards to G sharp, or A flat if it had its other name. Backwards down to G. All right, major was here. 3rd note, lower yourself. G minor, G minor. All right, this guy's also a nice one. Your A minor and G minor, pretty friendly. And last but not least, your D7. It does not have a little M. It's going to be major. If there's nothing done to it, it's major by default. So there we go, D, F sharp, A. Now, I've got to get the 7th note. If D is number 1, E is number 2, F sharp 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And notice how the 7th note is very close to if we went all the way to the top and had another D. Little trick for the 7s. Now this is kind of a big stretch. So if you feel like, my hand's not reaching, go ahead and stick with your D major triad chord. All right? Quick note about the 7. If we had another symbol, this might be the 7th note, which is even closer to the top. Slightly different sound, a little different coloring. This is the correct 7 for now. I'll explain more in the very near future, okay? Notice how they are stacked. It's all skipping letters, our odd numbers in music. We have a D, F to A to C. All right, we're just skipping one of each letter to stack these chord notes. All right, I will show you with my hand how to move through these. I'll call them out, okay? I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm just gonna do these 4, and we'll get to that slash F sharp eventually, okay? That's something for the bass line. Useful information if you are doing the background, the accompaniment. All right, so you're gonna do your A minor, your G sharp diminished, things are going down. Right there, G minor, and your D7. Those are the guys. A minor, G sharp diminished, little degree sign, G minor, and D7. Okay? Have fun with those guys. If you want to stick with just the 3 notes, that's totally okay. All right. Eventually you'll see all these symbols and you'll go, I know what I have to do to my triads. I know how to add on that number. All right. I will see you on next Sunday. Oh, I had numbers ready, but we didn't really need them. Almost all of your chords in this song have these 4 numbers for the letters, and even extra. You have some 6s and some 9s, and sometimes we get crazy stuff like 14, 13s, 11s. We don't have any of that yet. Bye for now. Hope this helps.